We're going to talk about divorce and separation right now. Did you know that each year, as many people divorce as there are marriages? More than 5 million men, women, and children are affected by separation and divorce every year. Not all marriages are made in heaven. In order for a marriage to be a happy one, it takes a considerable amount of work. Anyone who feels trapped in a marriage can find many marriage counselors, each with their own opinions to tell you what's best and how to handle the situation. But when it comes to divorce or separation, it takes more than an opinion to discover the right thing to do. It takes wisdom. So if you're thinking about separation and divorce, or if you're having marriage problems, first give this some thought. What does God expect of people who are married? God expects couples to be faithful, loyal, and respectful to each other, along with each one has their God-given role to play. Marriage was designed to be a lifelong bond. The only grounds for divorce or separation is if one partner commits adultery, abuse, or abandons the other. Keep in mind that marriage is a vow between you, your mate, and God. It's a contract that can only be broken by an act of adultery or abandonment. Now, if there's abuse in the relationship, for the sake of your life and your health, you can definitely get a separation. Although God is against divorce, with the increase of adultery today, an increase in abuse and STDs, a Christian does not have to stick with a man or woman who will put your life at risk or torture you emotionally. God does not want you to expose yourself to danger or risk your health and your life. If your partner has committed adultery and it was no fault of yours, when I say that, I mean you did not deprive them of their due, the best thing to do is to get the divorce that God feels you are entitled to. Why do I say this? Because once the trust in a relationship is broken, that is hard or impossible to get back. When someone cheats, they do not sincerely love or respect you. This is one of the main reasons God grants a divorce in this instance. God is love, and being in a loveless marriage is not God's arrangement. Stress is one of the number one killers today. And when you're constantly worrying or wondering what your partner is doing every time they're late or they don't pick up their phone, that can be very traumatic and very, very stressful. You'll eventually look 10 to 15 years older, catch a stroke, heart attack, or eventually have a nervous breakdown. God wants us to have a life of peace. Of course, however, that decision is yours. If you decide you determine that you want, whether you want to have that divorce or not. If you have an abusive mate, it's best to get out of that predicament and get your separation immediately, because this could save your life along with saving your mental health. Don't worry about having to remain single, because most adulterers or abusers, they move on to other people in record time. And at that time, they have given you the grounds for a divorce, and you'll have God's blessing. And if you decide to remarry again, then you will have God's blessing to do so. Scriptures to consider: Matthew chapter 5, verse 32, 1 Corinthians 7:15, 1 Timothy 5:8, Proverbs 5:15 through 18, and Colossians chapter 3, verse 19.